we're going to go over a couple things here, and I want to show you some facts that are going on the planet here. As far as I know, nobody's looking at this, but let's go ahead and this is just here in the last few hours, and we'll just go ahead and update it to make sure nothing's changed, and nothing has. But let's go ahead and take this up to 7 days, and you have to bear with me, computer's being a little slow. But we see the activity down here and down here, of course in Japan, and up there in Alaska, and then California, and Mexico, Arkansas, Puerto Rico, and South America. And it's extreme activity. But what I want people to notice, and those who are trying to figure things out and investigate and do their thing, notice this. No activity on the opposite side of the planet. Now, I'm bringing this up because, as far as I know, nobody's looking at it. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at the exact... Okay, over here, before I get into this, over in here, occasionally you'll have an earthquake. Okay, some big ones, some small ones, but it's occasional. It's here and there. It's nothing like this, or like that, or like that. Okay, there's very little activity, and there's no activity in this area. Okay, we're going to tilt this down, and let's go straight across from Japan. Follow the line across. No activity. Let's go from Alaska straight across, right here on this line. Again, no activity. You have that 4.6 here today, but again, no activity. Nothing like this. Okay, if you come straight across from California, again, this is where we're having occasional earthquakes, but it's occasional. It's here and there. Nothing like this. Okay, and if you come straight across from Mexico, which is right here in the middle between these two lines, again, nothing like that kind of activity going on. What I'm trying to show you is the fact, okay, and it is a fact, that only this half of the planet is getting all this activity. This half. That's it. Nothing is going on back here. Now, a lot of people are talking about this planet X coming in from here, coming in from here, coming in from here, coming in from here, wherever it's coming from. If it is even coming, who knows? But if it is, I mean, we have Saturn that has a huge, massive, amazing storm going on it that is blowing scientists away, and NASA, they can't figure it out. So maybe there is something coming. But if it is, according to the God of science, okay, according to science, this planet spins, and it revolves around the sun, and then this whole thing revolves in the solar system, and so forth and so on. Now, according to Scripture, this planet stays stationary, and the sun has its path around the planet, and the stars have its path around the planet, and so forth and so on. Okay, now the God of science says the globe is spinning. Scripture says the earth is stationary, the sun has its wheel around the planet. But if this earth is in fact spinning, if it is, and if there's a planet coming in from any direction, it doesn't matter which direction you look at, if there is a planet coming and this planet is spinning, and if that planet is what's causing all of this, then this side here should be just as lit up as that half over there. Okay, this half should be just as lit up as that half, if that's what the cause is. Okay, there is another fact that we do know of, and that is that there are 3 comets that are all going to be coming between this planet, our Earth, and the Sun. Okay, that's an absolute fact, and they'll be here August and September and October, and they're going to pass pretty close to the planet. But again, if this planet is spinning like the God of science says, then this half over here should be lit up just as much as that half up there, if that is what is causing it. Okay, what I'm saying is, and the only thing I'm saying is that it's a fact that there's nothing going on this side of the thing. Okay, and now I'm going to try to explain something else to you guys. I'm going to go ahead and bring this back down so we don't have so much activity going on. And I'm going to explain post-glacier rebound. And what that is, okay, a long time back, these glaciers formed over here on the North Pole and down here on the South Pole. Okay, down here on the South Pole you have land, and there's glaciers sitting on top of the land and out in the water too. Well, the weight of those glaciers is pushing this land down into the crust of the earth, okay? And that's happening on the North and the South Pole. Now up here on the North Pole, you do not have land, but you still have the ice, and that weight is pushing down on the land that is below the ocean down there, okay? And it's compacting the land. Now what's happened is, if we jump over here for a second, and you guys can go here, it's right here on my YouTube. This is just the nuclear detonations from 1945 to 1998. And it starts out with the USA right here, igniting 1, and then 2, and so forth and so on. But for the sake of time, I'm going to speed this up. Russia comes online, and Great Britain, and you can see stuff. Why they're over here igniting their stuff in Australia, and I don't understand that. But this is the way it went down, okay? And as we speed up time, look at all this that's going on. Remember, this is where the vision is, that all this is going to collapse and go into the water. But look at the activity, and let's keep speeding up the time. Okay, we're at 1997. All these countries are involved in nuclear testing. You've got 1,340 or whatever. And as we go forward in time, I just paused it. But if we go forward in time, look how active this becomes. Okay, now I'm just going to stop this, but understand that every one of them nuclear tests, that's nuclear fallout, that's going all the way across this planet. We live on a nuclear planet. So now when we come back over here to this, to the earthquake thing, all that fallout is in these ice cores. And you can go online and you can do some research on the ice cores, and you'll realize that a lot of these ice cores no longer have nuclear fallout in them. That means that these ice cores have already, or the ice has already melted past that point in time when that had accumulated. As the ice begins to melt, what happens is the land up here in the northern area of the planet begins to raise back up. Same with down here in the southern part of the planet. It starts to raise, all the land down here starts to raise back up, including this. Okay, but what's happening is as this ice melts, and as all this land up here from the 40th parallel on up begins to rise up, in other words, decompress. It was compressed by the weight of the ice. Now it's decompressing. It's rising back up. But all that ice as it melts, that water has to go somewhere, and it comes down into these oceans, and all that weight that was up there and down here begins to go into the oceans, and it pushes down, just like it was doing up here and down here. It pushes down on the land that's under the water. And as it does that, it begins to pull the land down with it, as the ocean begins to sink from all the extra weight. That's what post-glacier rebound is. And if you look at these things closely, you'll notice that all these earthquakes that are taking place, okay, this is all extremely deep water. This is a ridge right here. This is extremely deep water. And if you bring this up, and you notice that where all these earthquakes are taking place, as we go forward in time here, notice where they're happening. They're not happening out here in the deep water. Occasionally you'll get one or two in the deep water, and that can be explained maybe in a different video because I'm running out of time. But here on the shelf, the shelves, all the shelves are igniting. It's the shelves that are igniting, and the land itself, because that shelf can't bear the weight of all this ice and water that's coming down here. So it begins, as this begins to get pushed down, it pulls the shelf down, which pulls the land down. That's what's going on. Islands begin to sink. The water's not rising, the land is sinking. Okay, I'm out of time, but I love you guys. Take care, and understand the fact nothing's happening on the other side of the planet. God bless you all.